Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be building a simple rocket stove out of some scrap metal that we got from the scrapyard. Let me show you what I have, and then we will get started cutting some things up and drilling some holes. I have this giant piece of square stock that I got from the scrapyard. I did not use it for the trailer build. I think it would work perfect for a rocket stove. So I can build the chimney stack about this big. I think this is about 6 inches. This end is already capped off, so I can utilize that. I also have all of this stuff. I think with everything I have here and with this, I should be able to make a pretty good little rocket stove. Well, after a lot of struggling, I got the pieces I need cut. This has a plasma cutter. I blew right through the side of it. And so I put a new tip on it, did the same thing. It was working fine, and then it wasn't. So then I went over to my grinder, which works great. Problem is with this grinder is that these batteries, I can't make that many cuts with it before the batteries die. And I even have gone through 3 batteries, and it still isn't enough juice. So then I go back to the trusty Sawzall. Takes a little bit longer, but always works, trustworthy. I'm going to use these as the feet, something like that. The chimney will be welded on something like that, and this will be my feed tube. So next, we need to drill our holes through this surface. Those are good instructions, with the help of a friend or a trustworthy foe. I wish I had a trustworthy foe right now. we are ready to drill some holes. I'm using some old drill bits here. Test these out, see if they'll work. This is going to be the base. This will be like the burner, I guess. The airflow will come up through this. And so I'm gonna drill a bunch of holes in this. I'm gonna make a grid on here and drill a hole in every spot. So that will help to keep the coals up here as the wood is burning down and fed in here. The ashes fall through there. So if I burn this for a long time, I can clean the ashes out of the bottom of this and continue to burn it without having to tip it or anything like that. That's the plan anyway. So we'll use the drill press. It's hopefully be much easier than doing this by hand. So you can set a depth if you only want this to go down so far. So I'm just gonna set this, it'll stop about right here. And so you can push the button on this and just drop that down and it'll lock back in place. You can adjust it, fine adjustments by spinning it. It has threads on it. Give us a stop point. Has a LED light and the crosshairs. I'm gonna turn this on. I'm gonna turn the speed down a little bit slower and see how that works. I can finally drill through metal. This would have been a very, very long project with a hand drill. This thing works great. I'm super happy with this. I do need to get some better drill bits though. The drill bits I have are old and worn out. And by the end of this, even it was not performing very well. The drill bit itself was starting to squeak, and you could tell it was taking a little more pressure on the handles to push it through. But so this will make the grate. I need to put the chimney stack on and the feed tube on. So we will take this back out. But super happy with the Vevor drill press. But let's get some welding done, some grinding and welding done, and get this put together. is version 1 of the rocket stove. Call it the rocket camp stove because the purpose of this will be to use it to cook on and possibly to boil sap with. So I put these little pot holders on the top that will give it a little gap for the flame to come out underneath a pan or pot or a skillet or whatever you want to use to cook with. But for those of you who are new to the rocket stove idea, there are thousands of videos out there of people making these very similar designs I saw all over online. The very basic design of a rocket stove would be cut off at the bottom here. This bottom piece wouldn't be here. And you'd have a feed tube that is shorter than the chimney stack, which this piece would be longer. And the idea is that you would be able to feed wood directly to the bottom of the fire. The air is drawn in through the feed tube, so you don't get smoke and fire coming back out here. The air is constantly being drawn this way, sucking down over the coals and then up the hot chimney, which burns all the flue gases. So you have very little to no waste. It's very efficient and it burns very hot. So you can see there's no smoke really coming off the top of this at this point because it's heated up. I can just take pieces of wood and throw them in there, and again, it's drawing the air through here and burning up. Now I added this bottom piece on here for a couple reasons. To give a little more stability. This way I can put a heavy pot on this thing. It's not gonna rock side to side with these feet on it or front to back because it's long. But also I drilled the holes in there, that way the ash will fall through. Let's say I want to run this for hours, boiling sap. The ashes this way will fall down through into the bottom instead of getting all built up in the thing here, and then you'd have to turn it off or shut it down and clean it out, dump it or something. This way I can stir it up. I've got a little piece of metal here. I can kind of stir this up down here. That'll drop the ashes down into the bottom, and then I can clean them out that way. So you can see the fire's really just right there at the bottom, and it's burning that wood. The fuel is the smoke, and so it sucks that smoke down in there into this hot chamber, and then that smoke burns as it goes up, and so you get that's why you get such a clean burn, like a rocket engine, I guess. I did add these little flaps on here. They're not perfectly sealed, but I wanted to see if it would burn differently if I closed this and then opened the lower one. This is letting the air come straight in and up here. I can actually hear it slow down quite a bit. It's actually burning a lot less efficiently. And if you have both of them open, you'll get some smoke that will come out here. We'll keep the bottom one closed. It's really just used as a clean out, and keep this one open where we'll feed our wood. Well, that's it for today. We got the new rocket stove built, and of course, check out the Vevor drill press. Soon I will do a full shop tour of all of the Vevor tools I have gotten over the years that I have used, what I like and don't like about all of them. They've been very reliable and very good tools. So check out the Vevor drill press. I don't do a lot. I'm not a full-time woodworker. I'm not a full-time machine smith. I'm just a guy that likes to build stuff. So I can't always afford to spend thousands of dollars on all of these kinds of specialized tools, but they sure are handy to have. And Vevor has a ton of very inexpensive type tools there, and they've been very reliable. Let me know what you guys think of the rocket stove, any improvements you'd make, any thoughts you have. I'd love to hear from you guys. Subscribe if it's your first time here. Love to have you tag along. We'll see you next time.